Did you know that Frankenstein is based on true events? Sort of, kind of, a little bit. Let's talk about why I say that. 3 years before Frankenstein was published, Mary Shelley traveled through Europe. While in Germany, she passed near Frankenstein Castle, so we know that at least she took the name, right? Which may have influenced her novel. The castle was home to Johann Conrad Dippel, an alchemist who created a tar-like substance called Dippel's oil. Folklore about Dippel's experiments possibly inspired Shelley, though she never mentioned it in her journals. But in a lot of ways, he sort of had this mad scientist energy, and his castle was named Frankenstein Castle, and I think we can put some dots together here. Shelley and her fiancé, Percy Bysshe Shelley, later traveled to Geneva, Switzerland. Percy was a radical poet and never famous in his lifetime. He and Mary began their relationship in secret because he had an estranged wife, who he eventually left for Mary. In Geneva, they stayed with Lord Byron, Claire Clairmont, and John Polidori. Trapped indoors by rain, they held a horror writing contest, and Mary wrote Frankenstein, and Polidori wrote The Vampire, predating Dracula by decades. I mean, this is my dream, to be able to time travel and go back to this moment in horror history. Shelley's novel is a frame story, exploring themes like loneliness, obsession, and the nature of humanity. Frankenstein, in my opinion, is one of the best books ever written, not to mention one of the best horror novels ever written. It's also considered the first science fiction novel, and has remained in print since 1818 when it was first released. Truly wild. Upon release, some reviewers recognized a woman had written it, referencing its feminine qualities. Early stage adaptations followed, including Presumption from 1823, The Man and the Monster from 1826, and a musical burlesque version from 1887, which, dang, I really wish I could have seen. Film adaptations began in 1910. And of course, the Universal version from 1931, which starred Boris Karloff, became the most iconic. Though based on a 1927 play, not Shelley's novel, it cemented Frankenstein in pop culture. But scenes from the film were censored in some states because it was seen as too horrifying. Kansas, for instance, initially tried to cut over half of the film. After the glowing success of Dracula in 1930, Universal produced Frankenstein. Bela Lugosi actually declined the role of the monster after failed makeup tests, a move often called a major career mistake. The film launched a franchise, including Bride of Frankenstein and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Mary Shelley, who was just 18 years old at the time, crafted such a masterpiece, and it remains incredibly poignant and powerful today. It's foundational to both film and literature. It's foundational to horror and science fiction. She was 18 years old. If you haven't read Frankenstein, I highly, highly suggest that you do. I actually read it in English class, and I find it to be, again, a really, really transformative novel. For more strange and dark history and the history of horror, listen to the Lunatics Radio Hour podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts.